Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karlye Loughman, and today we are going to be going through my final research proposal for Mcom 5364. The research that I have proposed is a study on which tactics and strategies American Airlines flight attendants are finding to be the most useful in flight when mandating the mask rule. So recently, American Airlines has put a new rule in place that all passengers must be wearing a face mask on board for the entirety of their flight, besides when they are eating and drinking. And we'd like to do a little more research on how they are managing that. The current situation at hand is we are living in a worldwide pandemic right now, the coronavirus or the COVID-19 pandemic, and it has affected people everywhere. And with that being said, it has brought travel to a screeching halt. Travel has gone completely away, it has come back a little bit, and then now that numbers are starting to go back up, it has gone all the way down. So we are trying to find ways to make customers feel more comfortable in flight with American Airlines, and that's what our research is looking to do, to bring those numbers back up. What I have learned through research is the importance of personal protective equipment, like masks that are mandated in flight. So if a mask is worn correctly, it can be up to 98% effective, which is huge. There are a lot of things in this world that are not up to 98% effective. And so why would anyone not want to comply with those rules? So the answer to that is something else that I have found through research, which is cognitive dissonance. A lot of times when people are put in a situation where they feel uncomfortable or out of their regular routine, people are less willing to comply with the rules that have been put in place for them. So we're kind of looking for the ways around that and ways that flight attendants can influence these passengers that are suffering from cognitive dissonance to comply with these rules and feel safe with their mask on in flight. So with that being said, compliance is essential in this situation. Again, the question that we have at hand, the main question, is what strategies are American Airlines flight attendants finding to be the most useful and effective when encouraging passengers to wear their mask for the entirety of their flight? The research questions that we're going to use for this research are: one, are flight attendants seeing a difference in numbers based on the location? When they are coming from Miami or when they are coming from Los Angeles, are they seeing less people willing to comply than they are seeing from other destinations? Does that have anything to do with it? Research question number 2 is, are passengers going to be more willing to comply when flight attendants are more stern with their orders to comply with this new rule? When flight attendants say, we need you to put your mask on right now, is a customer going to put their mask on, or will they react better when the flight attendant says, sir, will you please put your mask on? It is a new rule for American Airlines, and we would greatly appreciate if you complied with that rule. And then our third research question is, does the presentation by the flight attendant make a difference? If the flight attendant is wearing their masks and asks the customer to please put their mask on, is that going to be more effective? Or is it more effective when the flight attendant removes their mask and verbally says, will you please put your mask on? Is there going to be a difference in who is willing to comply and who is not? The methodology that we are going to use for this research is going to be a survey sent out to the flight attendants of American Airlines. They will have a 7-day period of whether or not they are going to participate in the survey, and that will be their time to start observing their surroundings and kind of noticing more than they have noticed previously. And then after that 7 days is up, they will have a few extra days to fill out their survey and send it in to management. Each flight attendant will be compensated $15 for their time, and that is going to be used as a little bit of a motivator to have these flight attendants take this seriously, because it is affecting their career. So what are you going to get out of this, you ask? You are going to get more customers on the back end. You are going to see the numbers of passengers on flights increase because they do feel more comfortable in these situations, because they see that flight attendants are taking this seriously and looking for the best methods to influence passengers to comply with the new mask rule in flight. Thank you so much.